this song. Let's play it over again. Tukano koi. Shuto tatara tarata ishohoto parra tarata kia. Ah, Michelle, you're first in. Hi. Winner, winner. Kuchuchu ara. Hey, Miss Ace. How's it going? Kutupa ana. Sha 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 ra ta ra ta ra 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 ra. Roseanne. Kumasu kui karatari ra tuminku cha. Whoop 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 whoop. I appreciate you showing up. You didn't and please, Roseanne, you don't have to feel. Please don't feel pressured to show up to the lives. If you know, like you're not just because I gave you moderation. It's just the you know, I just trust you. So don't think you have to work or do anything other than just relax and receive. But I appreciate you. Hello, everyone. Tutua, hi, Devin Collins. Mastua, hi, Alina. Ellen, I. Shoot. I don't even know why I try to pronounce them. Kakao, kao. Na iya haayo ikao kao. Hello, hello, hello. Earth Angel, how's it going? Let's see if I can. I'm a little too blind, I guess, for being this far away. Hey, Clear Mindset, how's it going? I'm gonna use usernames just because that way everybody knows who I'm talking to. Ay, ay, ay. Ooh, I'm gonna get some eye drops real quick. Hold on. Man, you guys feeling the energies that are incoming the last few hours? Holy cow. Had me horizontal for a bit. Hi, how's it going? Oh, I had to give myself an Epsom salt rub bath pretty much a few minutes ago. Oh, I gotta grab that. I'm gonna grab that too. Hold on, I wasn't prepared. Yeah, because this stuff saved my booty. This stuff right here. This stuff saved me because I was like so flattened I didn't think I'd be able to make the well now I knew I was still gonna make it, but I was like, dude, I don't know how I'm supposed to, how I'm gonna code or do anything with how I was feeling just because it came in really thick. Hey everyone. Hey Ray. But this stuff, holy smokes. So I don't have a bathtub. And I don't know if any of you experience not having a bathtub, because a bathtub, oh man, when you're going through all this ascension stuff and the ascension symptoms, having a bath is like cheat codes, I swear. Like I go and get hotel rooms every so often just so I can go use the bathtubs and just fill it full of salts and you know, bath bombs and all sorts of stuff. And it's like drugs, man. It's like I come out of that and feel like I'm on drugs like so much, and then I'm so loose for like a day or two. Yeah, I do have a little tray that I do it for my feet, but this stuff is awesome because you can use it on different spots. So if you have a certain spot on your body that you know you would like to concentrate it on, I haven't been on very long, Michael just jumped on, but this stuff, it's called Procure Epsom Salt Rub, and it's got aloe vera and some like essential oils. I know it's reversed, so it's kind of hard to see, but this stuff, you just put it on your body, like, so even you can do it spots. I just rubbed it all over, so that's why I'm making sure that it doesn't, because it kind of dries funny and looks like it looks a little funny when it dries if you have too much on, so I made sure. But this stuff's awesome. Like, instantly relaxes the body. It really helps with the integration of the energies. Oh, do you? You make salt scrubs. Who's that? Sorry, the name. Jimmy Jin. That's awesome. You'll have to link me or something in the comments. Probably on a comment on a video or something like that, or send me a message through my profile, just because I will forget. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Friday Night Lights. Am I echoing? Uh-oh. Hi, no plan. Oh, wow. Interesting. Makuakwaniana. Tusa usa miema hi hukui kuara tara tara. Integrating that for sure. Helping me with some stuff related to my third eye. You know, I'm always talking about not yet seeing. And so we worked on some things, and it definitely is shifting. It was cool. Yeah, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I guess they see it in sleep paralysis and stuff, like a silhouette of a black silhouette with a hat, like an old time hat. But old Western house, like in this small town in Northeastern, that they're essentially programs. I don't know if you guys can tune into that as well. But yeah, I would see those guys a lot. Like, so just try not to bounce around on stories here because I want to go in two different directions. So let's stick to the trauma of shutting things down. So I definitely was, I don't know how to, I remember seeing things when I was younger. I don't know. I thought they were all fake, or, I thought they were all nightmares, even though I was awake. And I used to get in trouble quite a bit when I was around that age. So I used to be pretty ornery. Like, I was already a hyperactive kid, big time. And really acting up because my stepdad was in the picture. He was new in the picture, and then him and my mom just had a baby. So me being the only child of my mom when she was a really young mom, she was everything, up until like age 4. And then she got with her husband, and then it just pretty much shut down completely. So I got like thrown out of the picture because, of course, she's pregnant with a baby, and then he's, that's going to be his baby instead of like me being like his girlfriend's kid or whatever. And so they did what they should do, and to really focused on the baby and stuff. And I took it hard. I was an ornery little shit, and so I would act up, and and I would get punished, and I would get punished by they would send me into places by myself in timeout. And in this old time house, my timeout was upstairs where all the dang ghosts were. And I would be locked up by myself and be stuck with these ghosts. So I definitely remember that. And it would make sense that I would shut it down around that time. But where was I going? Oh, so that's one aspect. Then longer, he was seeing all sorts of stuff, and nobody else in his family was, and eventually you shut it down from the trauma. It's hard to see, and other people not seeing it, and a lot of stuff. I mean, I remember literally getting pulled out of bed. Like, I remember all the time. Like, I remember so many weird things, like all the time. I was like running. I would run when I turned off the lights. Like, when in my rooms were upstairs and stuff, or any room, even like in the garage, anytime I turned off the light, I instantly, like the next day, I don't remember what happened after that, but I immediately moved out of that room, moved into the sunroom that was outside of the house, and like that was it. I was done. And I guess my little brother, who moved into that room after me, had the same experiences. He started having the same experiences. So after that point, I stopped having those type of like paranormal experiences, or however you want to label it, sleep paralysis. I mean, that's the only thing I can identify it as at that time, just because I felt frozen. So I kind of thought maybe it was sleep paralysis. It could have been anything. But later on, after my awakening, and I'm like doing lots of research and getting into things, I started to look into these things a little bit more. I started looking into astral projection, started practicing astral project entities and other entities like that. So Shadow Men, and Hat Man, and the old hag lady, or banshees, or whatever, and everybody has the same stories about these entities, and demons that are sitting on their chest, or whatever, however they want to identify them. So I started tuning into it. I started looking, like kids and stuff. Like they do it anyway in their own ways, but like if you're consciously leaving your body, it's a different experience. Like especially as you get older. Because you're less protected as you get a little bit older. The rules kind of change a little bit. But I've noticed that they're almost like gatekeepers, but they also, I'm sure, because they're essentially programs, it does feed off of those energies that do keep you in those fear states, big time, for sure. But like, I have a buddy I got in, really close with through astral projection, like astral projection groups and stuff, as I was getting into it more and doing it. things from whatever feels right from your perspective as her mom, because through different, like what sound like different languages and sounds, like and then you see me doing my hand stuff too, right? You just see me doing this stuff. This is another way of expressing what some people refer to as light language. It's just different expressions of energy. So I'm just going to better here. So you think that there's only a certain way to activate it. It can be instances that happen. Also being in groups like this, really them itself, but where the energies are coming through, and they refer to that as channeling. What's going on with you? You're awakening. Beautiful. You're coming home. That's what's happening. Setting up just some structures around and just assisting the space, both my energy and the energy around me. And us in this group container. So I'm just letting my higher self take care of it. And I also have some wonderful help in here. So thank you. If you don't really feel your energy, does light energy work on us? Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to feel it for it to work. You know, some people's things, you know, their clairs are feeling. Like that's my primary clair, if you want to call it that. Like there's clairvoyance and clairsentience and claircognizance, and my main clairs are claircognizance and clairsentience. So I'm a knower. I just know things. It just kind of like drops in. I get downloads, and then I also feel things, and those together is how I really express my light languages, especially the signing. That seems to be the clairs that really work the best when it comes to this stuff, expressing it, just because it's not a matter of thinking. It's not like, oh, I know that I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. It's more of a knowing. It's like when you play sports, you don't think. So that's what it's more like. Yeah, but I would say like 80 interested in receiving whatsoever, and yeah, and hopefully it won't, you know, bother you. Just as much, so we'll see what comes through. Piarami ungui. Tu la randiera puff. All the same at the same time. So they kind of switch through and are like, okay, my turn. So those that's good to express for now. Yeah, so I was just expressing different types of light language, so how dramatically different they can sound. So I was letting some different languages or expressions come through that you might not hear that often. Some of them are a little bit different, you know, like some that use like just weird sounds that come through. So there's a lot of different expressions, and it's just different expressions of frequency. Yeah. The Sasquatch can be hard. There's different Sasquatch ones. Now, it's good to see you here, brother. I love you, Alex Makusha. And my business partners in the chat, Natalia, Koi. And we have got a brand called Bigfoot Botanicals, if you guys are interested. And we're making some awesome jewelry. Alex's wife is doing some awesome jewelry. And we have all sorts of cool products, like all sorts of stuff. Bath bombs, awesome bath bombs. Again, I was talking about bath bombs earlier, and I don't have a bath to even try them out yet. But epic with like all sorts of good stuff, like shungite in it, everything. I'm having brain farts. I'm kind of still in channeling mode right now. But I would love to try to channel. See, the thing about the Sasquatch, when I try to channel my Sasquatch, there's different dialects, but they always want to like scream. They always want to make like really loud noises, like yelling. And I don't like being really loud. I like the ones that are more whispery. Just, I don't know. I'm still a little embarrassed, but. Moldavite. What do I think about Moldavite? I love Moldavite. Moldavite's one of my favorite stones. Oh, they do Yeti? Awesome. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Yeti I'm sure would be even more. That'd be really interesting to hear Yeti. But Moldavite's awesome. It's definitely one of my favorite stones, especially for people who would consider themselves from space, you know, like star seeds and other universal structures and stuff. We seem to be really sensitive to Moldavite. Oh yeah. Hey, what are you doing right now, Tina? You can jump on. Saying that like channel Earthling. You know what I mean? Like, would it be English, or would it be Farsi, or would it be Spanish, or would it be Italian? Like, what is Earthling? You know what I mean? It's the same kind of idea for me. Even Arcturian is the same idea. Like, there's just so many different expressions, and since it's so universal, it doesn't really matter. They're just expressing frequency. It's not like the way it is, because I think it's way more diverse than I am articulating. It's just my personal perspective. Is that the idea of a star seed is about the perspective in which you are looking outside of this universal structure in total. So I would be from a different, the easiest way to say it would be body. Some of us are sitting up in a spaceship right now. like the more we can get people on board with this whole stuff too. Because, and again, this is just my own personal perspective, of course. Yeah. Aspect of source, or of whatever you want to articulate it as, God, all that is. I am is like the first, like the youngest version of God in that sense. So like that first expression of after, outside of everything was, am I? Am. So it's like that concept, but that's what it is. And then just continuously looking at yourself from every possible perspective, everything, you know, that's what makes it awesome. I don't know. How do I see the comments with so many coming in? I honestly don't look at them that often. I just kind of peek down when I'm inspired. So I do. If you guys are asking, I will answer that. Yes, that's a big part of healing. Is that, you know, just like a rainbow. Those are different frequencies. You know, red, orange, yellow, and so on. Those are different frequencies, and those different frequencies get stored in the body. And a big part of energy healing is tapping into those emotions, because they're just energy, and helping to release them. And that can be done in so many different ways. And so a big part of energy healing a lot of times is releasing those emotions, and then we do feel them quite often. We will feel them. You don't have to, and it's not going to be necessarily the same way, but we do feel them. Do I have to do the sounds and the hands together? No. But it does help me, Jimmy Jen, to do so. So, and it's another, you know, you might have noticed we'll speak by putting, you know, things in different areas. And You'll have different expressions when the voices come through. Some don't need to, like some are really like, that are like my default language, like my default frequency, which is like a merger of a lot of different ones. And the one I express the most is like the ancient, like the most, you know, ancient earth kind of language. So yeah, I don't know if there's a way for you on, oh, okay. Okay, let me just go through here real quick. And I always is trying to get me to release stuff, you know, like that's up to them. I'm not doing it like pushing anything in on them, but yeah, I do have to release. Or like when I'm in certain areas, I will, you know, like there's a old property that used to be a mental hospital, like a big self-sustaining mental hospital where I'm at, we're called Northern State Hospital. But it was a big ground. Magic asks, are there planet spaces where souls are in? Absolutely, 100%, 1000%. That's what we're doing here. As a natural empath, it's tough because we pick up on so much stuff that's not ours. So I would highly recommend to find a way to grid your space. So the trick to not being an empath, that a frequency that are right for me in my own space. So I had who's got high energy and they're just like, everybody's running into each other and it's like, I go into healing mode, turn my heart on, blast my heart, and I walk around like a fucking badass and I don't give a shit. I'm just like, yeah, you know, like I'm on and nothing fucks with me, like nothing bothers me, because as soon as I feel something, I know that I feel it, and that's why I'm there, is because I know, you know, I'm here to feel, and I'm here to just own my space and clear and be the high vibrational being that I am, and just anchor that pillar of light into this. I am an ear. I'm assuming you mean that you hear, Lorena. I don't know. I would encourage you not to worry about what type you are, because that kind of is just a label of limitation. So I would just encourage you to just be you. Like, don't worry about it, you know, like you are you. Nobody is going to be like you no matter what. Even if you had a label, you're not going to be like them, you know. Like you can be a Reiki master, and there's no two Reiki masters that are the same. They're all so different. So I would just worry about figuring out who you are. That's really important. Is star seeds a spiritual gift? No, it's just a perspective in which we're looking from Bumble. It's more of like when you decided through your higher self to come here. That's. Oh, your dog's been crying the whole time you've been on. Healing. So if it's a mental issue, like something mental or like a program or whatever, or if it's an emotional issue, like, you know, an emotion creates an emotion in you that is just overwhelmed. 1 second. Let's see. Ella, you can do it for someone else. And we can mess those things up. Like a lot of times I will see people who have these nasty, imagine it as a ball that you're holding in your hands. Be a ball of light, it can just be a ball, whatever color, whatever works for you, it doesn't matter. It's just your imagination that you are entangling with both your hands, and just put it like about a foot or so off. I can still reach my foot through my intention from here. Just connect with your intention to it, and hold your hands over it. And then what I want you to do is simply feel everything that you feel in your hands as deeply as possible. So put your awareness in the issue, and then feel your hands through connecting it. And then I'm going to boost it for you. So I'm just going to open up a portal to Grand Central Sun directly for your higher self. I don't make decisions, you do, and we work with you to get you there. Highest good of all. So go ahead and feel that energy. I love you, bro. Glad I opened my eyes for a second. Love you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow or this weekend. And if you feel emotions come up, release them if you can. La tarani rato shukura piaratata su chapu kutata kumayaru. Ratani prutsu fratu piara kuchisata dia puina la kiertisia. Chuchu era pa tata kima mama uchu pri pro usfu tutu pa afaka yar tu shata indisi shata tar ratira tu corpo per pisa chiatrakti rafrati serra to arpatata sa si però tu su corpo tirate la qui mara pipiara shu 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 more light in the hands, more energy moving through the hands. Relaxation. We're going to release in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to do another layer. If your hands felt like they needed to move down, just go ahead and pull up the ball again, or if your ball disappeared, just pull up the ball, assign it a color, do the same thing, put your hands over the area, because a lot of times these things come in layers, so we're just going to bust through a few layers here. Just do the same thing, same exact thing. Same spot and all that, unless you really can't connect back into that spot. It's just totally gone. So cool. Just give it a few seconds for you to do so. Really tune in where that's happening. We're opening the heart, opening the heart, opening the heart. My heart's connecting the back of your heart. I'm blasting you with my love. You're blasting yourself with your love. Those frequencies are moving through your arms, into the fingertips, into the palms. Just feel. We're gonna open the heart, more energy in the hands. We're gonna release in 10, 9. So bring up the ball with the color in it that you've assigned. It doesn't matter. If it changes, that's fine. Hold it in your hands. Feel whatever you feel in your hands. Try to relax as deeply as possible. And again, you're not trying to change anything. You're just feeling and you're observing. All right, we're going to release in 5, 4, more heart. 3, more energy in the hands. 2. Sometimes it can happen right away. Sometimes it you can feel it slowly drain. When we're working with like light codes and stuff, sometimes it can take a little bit. But yeah, let me know how you're feeling. Did you feel that? Didn't you? If you didn't feel. Yeah, Serene, if you're interested in a one-on-one, you can send me a message through my profile. It was all we were doing. I was just boosting it. Thank you. Literally. So I'm showing you this technique because this is how I heal. This is how I really got into healing myself. So let me go ahead and give you like a little bit of a background of how this works and why this works, and how simple healing can be. It's really, really simple. So you've got your imagination. Our imaginations are more real than we realize. And we are intending through our imagination to do a certain thing. So just like when I go to walk to a door, I don't think about take a right step, take a left step, take a right step, take a left step, put my hand up, grab the door, right? You're setting the intention. I'm going to walk to the door. I'm going to open the door. It's that simple. Using your imagination or creativity, a situation in which I know will, then we hold it. Our hands are essentially holograms of our whole body. So our hands are connected to every aspect of us. People in reflexology recognize this, right? Like certain areas represent certain areas of the body, but it's directly connected to the heart, and it's directly an extension of our mind. So it's an extension of our awareness. Our hands are an extension of our awareness. This frequency that is quantum and that's all you really need to do in order to begin to shift that energy. You are bringing awareness to it, and where your awareness goes, energy flows. And full acceptance is the frequency of unconditional love. And so unconditional love, like we're not trying to change it, we're just observing, we're acknowledging it, we're feeling it, and then we allow whatever needs to happen, and it resolves itself. So I started out my healing journey and really moving through a lot of healing throughout my body is by feeling through my body. Since I don't, I don't visualize, I feel of different frequencies. So like onion layers area, and you're listening to it. You're listening. That's why I mentioned it's a feminine type of healing. It's not masculine. You're not healing. You listen to them. You ask questions. You don't try to tell them how to fix things right. You listen to bodies, because we didn't listen. I'm not sure I understand the question. Rage as an emotion is usually a mask for other emotions, in my personal experience. So anger and rage are usually, there's something deeper. And I love you. You don't have to give me gifts. I should be giving you gifts. Yes, the 2-2 or the 2-2-22 event did sell. There we go. It's gotta. Muso parta. Karna. Yeah, holding on to the past is tough. I mean, that's what our bodies do, is we hold on to the past, or we worry about the future. Holding on to the past, that's all this stuff is, all this healing stuff is, our body is just a yes, it's filtered, and it's got shungite in it as well. Yeah, my neck it does that. It's done it literally every single live. Just a lot of talking and a lot of energy moving through that area. So it's just what happens. And you can do multiple, use your creativity, use your imagination. There's no limits, I can't even pretend to know the limits, right? So if you can use your creativity, hey Amanda, with unconditional love, full acceptance, and connection. You want to connect to it, know that it's going to be healed. Using intention, imagination, nuclear waste. So it's pretty safe. Your feelings while also being in a positive mindset. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they need to be processed, but it's not like a prerequisite in order to heal. Like when I do sessions, I do a lot of the, some of us don't have a lot of cooking utensils, and all we have is a damn fork. And we got to figure out how to make these crazy gourmet meals with only a fork. And then some people make garbage meal and resources, and it's infinite. I think they actually used to use selenite, like authentic selenite, as window panes, and they still have them in some old churches and stuff, but which is really high frequency. But I really like feldspar and selenite. Super high vibrational frequency. I got like a little selenite tray. I put stones in to clear. So even feldspar will clear things for you. So you don't need to clear selenite or feldspar. And selenite are like yin yang to me. Yeah, exactly. Depending on how you were raised, you may have been given a full set of art or just a pencil. Exactly. Or depending on how you decided to come into it. Like, for example, using myself as that analogy, that's kind of where I was coming from, is I know for a fact, and I can feel it almost like not having certain limbs. I know that there's certain gifts that I have that I don't have access to. Like my claircognizance is that strong that it creates this attachment, because I know that there's things that I'm missing that it's really painful for me to not have. And so for me, I feel like I just have a fork and I've got to do everything with just the damn fork, Can I show you some shungite? Let's see. I have a whole bunch of different tools here. So I've got these. These are copper. This is bent up because my wrist. But this is a copper, so it's cut to a certain length, an exact length, and with shungite and silver in my phone. Man, I talk about shungite every time, so there's clearly a reason, because it's definitely my favorite mineral. But it's here essentially to help save the planet. There's a shungite grid. If you're interested, I would likely get you shungite to gift to the earth, because it helps clear the earth in it, and it's essentially like connected to angel frequencies. It attenuates with EMF. Planting shungite around different towers and things like that. I also grid my house with shungite thumbtacks. So I have thumbtacks with pieces of shungite and silver on them, and then I put them throughout the house in different patterns. I also have this guy here, these things, which are a compound of, rubber, or there's maybe silicone, I can't remember, rubber or silicone, mixed with shungite powder and silver powder to create essentially an energy device, because shungite neutralizes frequencies and takes negative frequencies and makes them positive better. This is a neck twerk I got from my friends over at Cosmic Earth Medicine, which kind of tripped me up because we've got Cosmic Earth Child in here. But this is just another copper thing. It's like a bigger experience of it. And this is great for protecting. Yeah, it was. They used them in Egypt, ancient Egypt. What do I mean by program? So essentially adding intention to it. So with crystals and pretty much anything, you want to programmable than other ones. Like quartz is great for programming whatever frequencies as well. Like one that's really good for holding on to frequencies. Ooh, if you guys are really sensitive, you should feel this. This is my Lemurian quartz, which is a really popular stone because of the way that its matrix is aligned. So what makes a crystal is its matrix, rather uploaded a whole bunch of energies into this. This is a stone that I keep in my usually, and so this is just full of codes from Lemuria, from Atlantis, from the Amenti Arc work that I've been doing for the divine, restoring the original divine organic templates, all sorts of stuff. Super awesome. From experience, like literally only from my experience. So I'm not sharing anything that I don't know, strictly from my own experience. And that's pretty much the extent that it goes. So not an expert in food that's crappy for you. You can remove those programs with your intention, neutralize them at least, and then you can add your own intention. So I always code everything I put in my body. I always, I've got my own little things, but all it takes is an open heart and your intention, connect with it, your open heart, and put it into the food, into the water, show it appreciation, show it love. It's conscious. Water is liquid crystal, so it holds frequency. It's proven by science. This isn't woo-woo. This is proven by science. Add it into there, and that's going to help it. It's going to make it more bioavailable because it's going to have your frequency available in it. And of course, those frequencies of love and appreciation, those are really, really high frequencies. Whoa, hold on. I saw, wait a minute. Have you went rock hounding at Hanson's Creek, Washington? Where are you from, Earth Angel? Are you from where I'm from? Do I know you? Yes, I have. I was just talking about Northern State. And well, you spelled it with an O, so there may be multiple Hanson Creeks, but I do rock hound at Hanson's Creek with an E-N, which is just runs by. I'm like it's right down the road from me, so that's interesting. But I do. I haven't done it as, I'm pretty dang woo-woo, so I'm rock hounding literally everywhere I go. I find like all sorts of stuff everywhere I go. Like even in parking lots outside of my work, I've found crystals, literal like agates and crystals inside the gravel, just because it just pops out at me, and I'm like, what the? And I'm like, why is this here? Or like jade. I found like jade and all sorts of stuff. Usually when I go to places out in nature and I drop down codes, I am almost always gifted. So when I release for the land, or I clear the land, or do whatever feels necessary at that time, I almost always find something really awesome that they gift me. Sometimes even a feather like this. This was gifted to me once, which was pretty dang cool. It's a blue heron feather, but you know, I'm asking for a bald eagle feather. I think it's technically illegal, but hopefully nature will gift me one at some point. I would really appreciate that, but you know, not holding my breath. Not holding my breath. Unfortunately, there was well, I don't know if I want to tell the story. Maybe I won't. I'm just going to double check the questions. Okay, there are some good questions. Missed it. Okay, so Lisa says, how can we focus on many issues that need healing? Did I already touch on that? I would suggest to go through one by one. If you're conscious of the areas that need healing. If you're conscious of it, there's a reason, you know, there's probably a deeper reason for it, and there's many layers to it. So I would go by one by one, and work through the layers to get through it. Otherwise, if you want to work through a bunch, I would suggest going to a healer and getting an actual one-on-one session, because they'll help you through the process, and they can help you move through a lot really quickly. If you're doing it by yourself, it can be a little tough. You know, it can be a little overwhelming. Ravi Rules. It says, where is a good place to buy Lemurian crystal? I'm not sure, to be exact. I mean, I would always suggest to support your local crystal shop, your local metaphysical shop. Where I'm from, Mystical Wares is the best place, and I'm always going to plug them because they've done so much for me, and as a community that we're literally building. So everything that goes into what they do is a way to support a bigger picture in our whole community, not just in my local community, but we're going to be supporting at a bigger level. And you know, I won't go into it, but if you can support us, it's going to help everybody, because we're building lots of big communities. We've got big plans. I mean, and before COVID, we were this close to setting up an amazing community. Like we were getting like almost 200 acres that we're looking at, and like all like 3D printed homes with shungite in them, and all, like literally all these things. We were meeting together. We had a few meetings, and then COVID messed things up. We couldn't buy the land without certain like licenses. Like we weren't selling government land anymore, or I don't remember all the crap, but we're still planning on doing all those things. We have free classes, and it's constantly building and evolving. So mysticalwares.com. Does the power of the stone change depending on size? Not power necessarily, but amplitude. Wait, am I getting that backwards? Amplitude or not power? One or the other. So it doesn't really matter too much, especially with stones like shungite. It's not about quantity as much. Shungite powder is extremely powerful for a lot of different reasons. But so it doesn't really matter that much. So you don't necessarily need a big stone. But saying that at the same time, at Mystical Wares, Derek, who's the owner, has like literal tons of shungite. So like they have the most shungite of any place in the entire country. And when you're next to that room, you feel it. So it does make a difference. It's just, it depends on what you're using it for. Is it supposed to feel cold when you're getting the healing work? That's a great sign, actually, if you feel cold. It means that there's ether. If it feels hot, that means that you're shifting, but heat isn't generally a good sign. In general, unless it's shifting, it's a good thing. So, yeah, don't worry about that stuff too much. Whatever you feel is totally okay. Okay, I think I got through this stuff. All right, so I've blabbed enough. We're going to do some activation work, or whatever comes through. So we're going to do whatever comes through. Healing, activation. I won't be assisting. We'll just be channeling here. Yeah, your hands getting hot is good. I mean, not good. It's normal. But the goal is tricky. whatever you feel is valid, and that's okay. But heat in the body is, it's, how do I explain this? So it is there's a fundamental aspect of heat and coolness, right? So coolness is a lot of times associated with ether, like it's a different, it's like a shifted energy. But heat is always something that is trying to be reconciled in us. So if there's heat, that means that there's something that is being changing. So I don't want, actually, I'm not going to explain this too much because I'm not able to fully articulate it. So just forget it for now. And maybe I'll bring it up when I'm able to articulate it in a way that actually makes more sense instead of just speaking without it being fully comprehensible. I'll just do that. So don't worry about that too much, okay? And Alex, you asked the question before. Yeah, Alex, I will respond about the implants after we do this activation real quick. So it'll probably just come through for like 5 or 6 minutes or something. So if you're interested in receiving, if you're open to receiving or having an experience with whatever comes through, just set that intention, open your heart, just say, yeah, I'm down for whatever comes through for me for my highest good, through my higher self's intentions, okay? No harm will be done, no energy will be taken, it's not freely given, and of course it will be in alignment for the highest good of all only. Yeah, just establishing my pillar of light, making sure it's nice and solid. So what I'm going to actually, we're going to play here. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you want, if you're open to this, is we're going to connect. We're going to connect to our sun. So imagine our sun. Doesn't really matter. Just connect with your intention. And we're going to connect our third eye to the sun. We're going to connect our hearts to the sun. We're all going to connect to an Ankh. So it's like a symbol like from ancient Egypt. It looks like a cross but has a loop on the top. Connecting to that. So we're going to sync up our third eyes and our hearts. And to answer your question, what is being activated is completely up to your higher self. It's not for me to decide. This is only out of love and whatever needs to come through for you, for your own path. It's not for me to decide. So we're just going to connect, and if you are able to see or visualize, just be aware of what comes through, because it's going to come through as symbols, right? So it's going to be metaphors, because that's the multidimensionality language of the universe. That's why they're so dang tricky. It's like riddles, because not because they're trying to trick you, but because there's so many different layers to it, and it can be perceived in so many different ways, and that's the power of it. So we're going to connect to that. And then I'm just going to bring through whatever needs to come through, okay? No, 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 ni, da, mo, katarchasa, pushukutuara tasa tatatakuya, kuf, tukuy, protukuya, ooh, you know what I'm gonna do after this? After I'm done letting this move through, I'm gonna, we'll talk a little bit, and then I will do one to music. I'll put some music in the background, because I'll show you how I can feed off the music. I'll talk a little bit about that, because I literally can feed off the vibration. That's why I channel to music on my TikTok. That's really how I enjoy doing things, and it can be a lot more powerful that way, and it's a lot more fun. Hot that it's just like this awkward silence. It's just like when the voices don't come through, it's like. Maybe we can get the Sasquatch to not be so shy. My Sasquatches speak funny. Let's see. See, they like to yell. Nope. No, I can't do those sounds, guys. I'm sorry. Just try it. It's too my ego gets in the way too much. And then that blocks things too. So of course when I So when I'm doing this, I'm usually traveling or connecting to frequencies from other places, often to retrieve certain things. It may not be what's going on, but that's usually what it is. Yep. And sometimes a different aspect will come through. Feel your body. If you're coming into the chat and whatever, you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Just relax and just be open to like whatever the fuck I'm doing. You don't have to receive, but feel your body. How about that? Just see what happens. If you're here for a reason. Just feel your body. And if you're open to this type of thing, you might feel something. And then I'm all, well, it's not just me, by the way. I've got some amazing souls that are assisting me right now. I can feel you, so thank you. They're synced up as well. So it's not just me. This is also just a group thing. It's not just me, just so you're aware. It's not a Thai thing. Everybody can do this stuff. You just gotta remember and choose to express it. You'll have your own expression of it, of course. It won't be the same. That's the beauty of it. Your superpower is just being you. You'll have your own expression of it, of course. It won't be the same. That's the beauty of it. Your superpower is just being you. That's spirituality, is figuring out who the fuck you are and embodying it. That's all you gotta do. But it never ends. That's the trick. Damn it. Because we're all of it. We're more than we can ever literally imagine. Kisto, tatakara, kuta pranitisto, corrotto, mangarte, petti tutto rigora, tisco, pu, tatakita, tisito, ramagara, tu mamor, di corro, di mo, di mo, Okay, so I'm not going to do as much as the voices just because it's burning me out tonight because it's been a long day. So I'm just going to do more of the signing right now. I'm just going to do a clearing from the feet up. And connect your Pisces to the feet. Aquarius to the shins and calves. Capricorn to the knees. Sagittarius to the thighs and hamstrings. Scorpio to the genitals. Libra to the hips and buttocks. Virgo to the belly. Leo to the back and heart. Cancer to the chest. Gemini to the shoulders, arms, and hands. Taurus to the throat, neck. Aries to the head and face. And Ophiuchus into the nervous system. Expand. Pisces through the lymphatic system. Light it up like a Christmas tree. An electric blue cylinder here. I'm placing a code. If you're interested and open to receiving, I'm going to place this between your root and your sacral for the highest good only. It's going to invite some Lyron friends to assist. You can give a command to where you would like this to go, and they will assist you with this. Otherwise, they'll go for wherever's needed for the highest good. So I'm going to place that. Either hand it to you and you can place it there, or I'm just going to place it between your root and your sacral. Oops. And then now I'm just going to channel just straight energy for a second. And codes. So you might refer to this aspect as Reiki or something. Ooh, I'm going to show you guys how to do a really simple technique after this. So this part can be as easy, like if you just want to channel energy out your hands, just like this, it's really, really simple. Just ask for whatever masculine frequency is best for you in this now to do this, to flow in through your crown and down into your heart. And then ask for whatever frequency of whatever feminine frequency is best for you in this now to channel energies to flow up through your root and into your heart, where they meet in your heart. And then just imagine these lights building your heart, and then imagine those lights spilling out from your heart, down and out your arms, all the way out and out your hands, and then just straight into wherever you need it to go. It's that simple. You don't need to know, you're in the flow. Whatever is for the highest good, out of pure love. We kind of gunk things up by trying to think that we know best. Okay. And energy is carried through the breath too. If you want to take a boost, make a boost, use your breath. You'll hear me. Using the breath can really accelerate the energies. So, how are you feeling? Okay, yeah, Jamie, I will do that. The one that I just did with just connecting through time. Yeah, I'll do that. I've got a whole list of dang things I want to do, like different talks, like different videos. But honestly, like, I get nervous because I don't want to spam people's freaking FYP. Like, I get like kind of embarrassed when people are like, "Oh, you're all over my FYP," and I'm like, "Sorry, like, it's not at all my intention. I do want people to like be exposed to it, but don't like, you like the FYP spin, but I don't. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's something I need healing with. It makes me uncomfortable. Like, I literally won't post because, like, I have a bunch of stuff I want to post, but then I won't post because I don't want to spam people. Like, I'm like, okay, it's been 2 hours. Like, is that too soon? Okay, we won't post anything. And then I'll forget or won't post. Or then, like, I'm like, I've done 3 posts today. That's plenty. You know, I'm not going to do anymore. Yeah, so let's just bust out some quick, just quick tips instead of like I've got all sorts of stuff. So, and I'll make videos about it. I'll just show you like some quick practical techniques for doing healing work, because this is what I love. So, the first one that I was brought up into my awareness as I was doing that, the first one is really, really simple. What I want you to do is place all of your awareness right here on your head. Just place all your awareness right there, just on your forehead. It doesn't really matter where, so don't get too like worried about where. But just place it for now and your third eye, just like on the front of your forehead. Place all of your awareness there until you start to feel something. You might feel a little bit of a pressure. You might, whatever, some tingles, some coolness, some warmth, it doesn't matter. Just begin to feel right there. Just place all your awareness on the skin, on that area. Try to like hyper focus it in. Do that for a few seconds, and as it builds. For me, I begin to build it. I start to feel a magnetic pressure, and it's quite strong. So the longer I do it, so now you're noticing probably that my eye, well, not if you're doing it yourself, you may be having your own experience, but my eyes begin to pulse because of all the energy's building up. So I am building up energy in that area. And then, this is really simple. All you do is begin to move that feeling around your body. So I'm going to move it down, around my side, around my cheek, down to my chin. I'm going to move from my chin up to my nose. I'm going to move it from my nose up to my cheek. Move it from my cheek down to my throat. Move it from my throat down to my shoulder. Down from my shoulder down into my right elbow. From right elbow into my right wrist. My right wrist back up to my right elbow. My right elbow back up to my shoulder. My right shoulder in the middle of my throat. So you're moving it. You're going through the process of moving it through these different places, from my throat to my left shoulder. Left shoulder down to my elbow. My left elbow down to my left wrist. My left wrist to my right, or my left index finger right to the tip. I'm just going to build that pressure up more and more and more. Now let's say that there's somewhere on my body that needs healing. Let's say that it's the back of my neck. So I'm going to move that pressure down through my finger, down through my wrist, down through my forearm, down through my elbow, up through my upper arm, into my shoulder, back to my neck, right in the back of my neck. I'm going to move up to the top of my neck, back from the top of my neck down to the middle of my back. From the middle of my back up to the top of my neck, moving through that area, up from the top of my neck down through the middle of into the middle of my back. So I'm going through that CT junction, up and down, up and down. Maybe I'm going to go back up and I'm going to meet in that CT junction, and now I'm going to make a figure 8 with my awareness. So I'm going to go like this around that spot. And now maybe I'm going to take that, I'm going to move that awareness down through my spinal column. Lower, 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 down into my root, all the way down to the base of my spine. I'm going to move it down to my right hip, down into my right thigh, my right knee, my right shin and calf, down my right ankle, right foot, and into the center of the earth. Down the foot, down to the center of the earth. 5 feet in the center of the earth. 20 feet in the center of the earth. Boom. That's it. That's it. So you can do that. You just move it around. So you're just building up an energy, and you can move it through a certain area. Just go through and move it through a certain area. So it's really simple. Next, we're going to do another type. I'm just going to bust through a bunch of different practical techniques. So the next healing technique, what we're going to do, really, really simple. Imagine your body So, ooh, I'm going to show you guys how to create a proxy of yourself. What I call either a proxy or a hologram. So creating a double of yourself that you quantum entangle, and then you can work on yourself. So in your imagination, create like a chalk outline, you know, like when there's like a crime scene, just create a chalk outline with your knowing, your imagination. I can't see it, I can't imagine it, but I know that it's there. Create that in your mind's eye or with your intention. So you got that, it's there. And then what you want to do is put a black line around it. So trace the outside of it with a thin black line. And your intention is to say this thin black line is going to draw out negative energy from the body. Wherever it is, it's going to suck it out of the body. That's it. Now we're going to go outside of that, and we're going to do another black line that's outside of that black line that's twice as thick. We're going to say, we're going to go all around that, the same outline around that black one. It's twice as thick on the outside. And this one draws out 10 times as much negative energy. And just feel what happens. Outside of that one, so you're kind of like creating layers of these lines, right? And outside of that one, we're going to do a thin white line that goes around those black lines. And our attention is whatever is being drawn out is being replaced with this pure white consciousness, this pure white light. We're going to draw a thicker line that's twice as thick around that black or around that white line. And our intention is that this thicker white line brings in 10 times as much pure consciousness, pure energy into the body. And then just feel. And then just feel. Just let that run. And your intention of creating that that chalk outline is you're intending that that's you. So you can either say, you know, this is my hologram, this is my proxy, this represents me. You're in quantum entangling it, and then just feel. Just feel your body, just feel it happening. You're setting intentions, you're using your imagination, you're knowing it's happening. And feel what happens. It's that simple. And you can keep doing it. And you can add different layers to it. Like this is just super simple, right? Like you can make it a different color. It doesn't have to be white. You can make it purple, or you can make it striped outlines. Like play, because there's so like it's just it'll make more complicated frequencies that have different functionalities, right? It's not good, one's better or whatever. It's just different. Thank you. You don't have to give me gifts, sweetie. Sorry, I don't mean to say sweetie like I don't mean that in a condescending way, please. I'm sorry. That sounded gross. My bad. Yeah, Diana, if you're interested in catching the rest, you can. I'm gonna post this on TikTok, or excuse me, I'm gonna post this on YouTube afterwards. So, like probably tomorrow, if you want to catch it, you can go on YouTube and you can watch the replay, and you can watch other ones too. Well, it's not judging. It's more being considerate of other people's triggers. Because I definitely know that can be a trigger for people, because most of the time that people use those type of phrases and stuff is in a not so nice way. Honey, sweetie, you know, that kind of thing. So that's not my intention at all. Robert Otto, huh? I'll have to check him out. Or Ahato? Yeah, man, I'm sure we would. Yeah, love. I mean, even love, you know, all that stuff. Miss, love, ma'am, sir, homie, Holmes, bro, bruh, braj, my dude. It's just words, you know? Yeah, and it does depend on the tone. It definitely has to do with the expression that, you know, the frequency. Are headaches normal after receiving healing? Absolutely, yes. That can be very, very normal, especially if it is an activation. There can be a lot of pressure built up, and even when I am expressing energies, like when I'm doing my healing work, my channeling work, I feel pressures in different areas. So I will get headaches and different pressures in certain areas, and until I fully express the energies moving through it. So very normal. Yeah, I nickname everyone too, and it's authentically out of the love of my heart and just having fun. But I do try my best to not offend people, just because people are, they're dealing with their own stuff, and I don't necessarily need to be a trigger for people, and I don't have, it's not my favorite thing to have to consult, not like, to help them move through whatever it is, through the, convince them that that's not the way that I meant it, or like help them just move through whatever energy they're feeling in that moment, which I should, because that's our job as healers, right? But some people are just in the energy to be triggered. Some people, I've met people. There's some people that literally everything that I say triggers them, no matter what I say. Like, it's just, some people, that's their functionality is to be triggered by you, and there's nothing you can do. I've experimented with this stuff, having the deepest knowing that that's what's going to happen, and doing everything that I can to not have that happen, and it still happens. So there's just the way that it works sometimes. So did you? I'm sure you did, Tina. It's just water. It's just water. No, it's just water. It is just water. It's just water. Has the energy been crazy lately? Yes, it has been. Especially today. So my buddy who's really tapped in, he tuned into a merger and a big frequency shift that's happening right now. That's probably going to be taking place over the next few days. So yeah, this is just a bottle. I just refill this. This is just a bottle, and I put shungite in it too. It might be tap water. Ooh. Mexican tap water? That's how I get diarrhea. I've been to Mexico. You don't drink the tap water. I've been to Rosarita and out at the clubs, and then go be so thirsty that you gotta drink out of the sink in the hotel room. Don't do it. It's terrible. Don't do it. What does a change in energy frequency mean? So everything is energy, and energy is measured in frequency. So frequency is just a measure of vibration. So when we talk about frequency change, we're just meaning that there's a shift in the vibration of whatever it is, and that can vary quite a bit, because we go up and down and up and down and up and down. But there's going to be a bigger shift in frequency. So we go up and down and up and down, but sometimes we go really up and then we go less down. Up and down, and go really up and then less down. So we just keep going up and up and up, and there's different factors for that. So like the sun, for example, is essentially a portal, and blasts us with certain frequencies and moves certain energies and codes through us. And just the other day we had a really big blast. Well, it's not big in the terms of a solar flare. It was pretty good size, but the energies that it moved through were really intense, and like, it kept me up all night. And usually, there's been bigger solar flares that didn't do that, but that kept me up. I woke up at like 1:30 in the morning and literally didn't sleep all night until like 1 o'clock this morning, because we did that live last night, and I was still going. I mean, I was pretty tired. I'm still pretty tired. I haven't caught up, but still. But yeah, so the whole idea of ascension, if you've heard that term, is just us as a collective raising our vibration, raising our frequency. How do you balance your day-to-day work life with your heightened level of spirituality? I'm really lucky in the job that I work right now, and I've been doing what I do for like 20 years as far as my day job. I'm in a position right now, in a job right now, that isn't the best position for me as far as what I'm worth and all that kind of thing. But it's really good for me in that I can sit in my own energy and I can process energy, and I can kind of do my thing. I can bust out my work really quickly, but it does still take a lot of my time, which is not in my best interest for much longer. But so far, it's worked out for me. For example, like I've got a lot of like from the perspective of Western medicine, I've got a lot of health issues, if they want to identify as that, at least from the perspective of that. So with that, I'm able to take days if I need to rest when I'm really not doing well, because it does trigger those issues in me, and so I literally can't function. So it's better than being on disability. So I mean, if I wanted to, I could qualify for disability, believe it or not, but it's not something I'm interested in. I'm trying to figure out the 3D stuff so I can just move into doing this non-3D stuff full time, and I'm getting there. Yeah, Heels on Wheels is something I really want to do, and Spirit actually is asking me to do like crowdfunding. I don't know much about that, so if you guys know anything about crowdfunding stuff, let me know, because Spirit keeps bumping me about that. So I would love to hear any ideas. And the 3D stuff is I have a hard time with, like my ADHD and my like the way my brain works with like trying to use my imagination and like planning things. Like somebody tells me directions or a story, literally it overwhelms me and I get a migraine and I have to go lay down, and like sometimes it's overwhelming. Yeah, like a GoFundMe or something like that. I honestly don't know. I've never done anything like that. Or I could do events or subscriptions or whatever whatever helps. So if you guys are good at those type of things, like ideas for fundraising, just ways to do things. So my dream at this point in time is to create what I call Heels on Wheels, which is just one aspect of one of my dreams. But essentially I want to have some type of traveling structure, probably like a modified school bus or something, enough where I can move around and do my stuff and work on somebody on a table in that space. And then I would like to travel around the country, going and stopping at cities and stuff like that, and then going to different places that need help and just doing free healing. So like in downtowns and just like sitting on the street doing street, almost like street performers, but just doing free healings on people so they can be introduced to these things and have the experience directly and get free healing work. I'm going to like homeless encampments and those different communities and really having conversations with people, going in and really like helping people through their own permission slips and doing that. And then also through that at the same time, being able to travel and make stops for clients that would like work to be done, because remote work's great, but in person is so it's awesome. So at the same time, it can like pay itself off from people who would like to get sessions in person. I can travel. I live up in Washington State, but I could travel down to Arizona if somebody really wants an in-person session and they know that they're supporting this cause. Of course, I'm going to try. It's not going to go into my pocket. I'm going to be going in. I mean, some of it. I got to live, but the rest would go into creating whatever community or whatever we're trying to build as something better, and then go from there and just travel around and whatever. But meet up with people. Like we can even do events, like travel different places and do events. So that's a good question. So how do you protect yourself being around other people's negative hurt energies? I own my energy a lot. I'm a really highly sensitive person. And so I add layers of frequency that help hold space for me. Where am I located? Near Mount Vernon, Washington. Healing hovercraft. That would be awesome. Hey, good to see you, brother. Yeah, the tour, I would come pick you up for sure. Like, that's the coolest thing. Like, that's one of the best parts about what I want to do is like, and a big part of it too, honestly, a big part of it is to go and drop off codes too. So I know that the next kind of phase of what I'm doing, I need to go for some reason in physical to drop off codes. So around the country and eventually around the world to drop off codes as a code keeper And just kind of my role here on this planet is to bring in certain frequencies from this experience, this universe, and others, and this time, and other times, and whatever. So that would help me to do that as well. Yeah, manifest a vehicle, all that stuff. And the first thing I got to do is just come up with an actual plan, right? So it's like concrete and people can actually see, and it's totally transparent and all that stuff. Near Portland, Oregon. Yeah, that's awesome. Code, I mean, code is just, it's kind of my specialty of what I do. Healing work. All this stuff is called coding, is what I call it too. Yeah, we could do a documentary, Alex, all sorts of stuff. I'm going to create a vision board for sure. Did I already tell you that? Or did I tell somebody else that? I told somebody that. Do you think ADHD people are sensitive to energy? Yes. Yes. That's just a quick, easier answer. I mean, everybody's different, so not everybody, of course. Glad you're still in here, bro, Alex. No, I said it today to somebody. I already said I'm gonna make a vision board. I can't remember what it was for. Oh, for the rave. I want to do a healer rave too on the travels. So I want to go, and I want to do that was Healer Barbie. She always is bringing up doing a rave. So we got to stop and do we got to do parties. Because I mean, we got to be kids. We got to play, you know? We got to play. I mean, like, I've never been to a rave. I've been to, like, festivals. I've never been to a rave, though. You know, I would love to, the people with those gloves, they got the little lights on their fingers. I want to do that. Like, how cool would that be? I don't know if it would look as pretty. People doing all that stuff. And, like, sometimes I can channel stuff that looks cool like that, but I have to actually channel it. I can't do it through my own intention. Can we learn code? You can get it activated, and you can download and understand it. It's more of an understanding. It's like learning to play an instrument, right? So playing an instrument is learning code, because code, music is code, and it's all frequency. It's all just different expressions of frequency, and so coding has a certain intention behind it, certain energies behind it. So once you learn how to connect and then transmit those energies through what you're doing, through the frequencies of the expression of the sacred geometry of your body, or the expression of sacred geometry through sound, or music or movement, or all sorts of things, through writing. It's all just different expressions. I would love to get the light gloves on. Dude, I want to start making Ormus, Alex. I don't know how. I mean, I'm not really a chemist. I don't have time, actually. I can barely do this stuff, so. But I would love to make some Ormus. Some monoatomic gold. I think I still have some. Let me see it. Hold on. Let me check real quick. One sec. Maybe I ran out. I have some fancy Ormus, which is liquid monoatomic gold. How old were you when you first learned the language? Is it like sign language for the deaf? Not quite exactly. So it's not. I didn't learn it. That's what's interesting about this stuff. It's more activated. It's a remembering. So as soon as I saw somebody else doing it, like my body had been trying to do it for a really long time. Like I considered it pain, and I thought something was wrong with me. Like truly thought like my hands would go like this. Like when I was really bad, like it would be like that. Literally, like I had cerebral palsy sometimes and I couldn't walk. Like it would be really, really bad and really, really painful. Like worse than like I ever showed. I could act almost normal, but it was so painful. But really, if I were to allow it to move through me, it would have been a lot better. It would have helped a lot. But it's more of an activation, so it's a remembering. Once you see people doing it, it's like boom, that's what that is. And you can move through you. Like muscle memory, yeah, it's connected a lot to clear cognizance, so a clear knowing and clear feeling, and then it makes it really easy. It's just simple. It's like playing a sport, playing a musical instrument. You can understand how to play music, right? But once you're playing it, you're not thinking about it. You're not thinking D, 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 D. I mean, you can, but like musicians, they're not sitting there going D chord, C chord, blah, blah. They're ripping You know, it's that kind of idea. What locations are you drawn to for dropping off codes? Definitely Mount Shasta. Some places down south. Honestly, I don't know for most of them. I know that on a bigger scale, I definitely need to go to certain like sacred sites and pyramids, places that I've had other experiences that I need to clear. Oh, thank you, Amber. Yeah, I totally understand. You need to bounce out. I appreciate you hanging out for so long. I love you so, so much, Amber. If you guys aren't familiar with Amber, second in command, I highly recommend to go follow her. She's an incredible soul, very gifted, if you want to consider that. She's she's got a lot of understandings and abilities, and she's got the biggest heart. So I would highly recommend checking out her channel and her work and just being a buddy, because she's amazing. Oh yeah, we should, Tina. Definitely. Yeah, Lumeria. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Underground stuff. Wisconsin. I lived in Green Bay for a while. I'll definitely come to Wisconsin. I would love to. I need to go. I need to go clear some aspects of myself that are still stuck there for sure. I mean, I don't have to go there, but you know, kind of do. Which sacred spaces? Let's see. Probably, I mean, Mount Shasta. Let's see. I need to go to the Stargates. So I'm in Seattle, which is the big Stargate here. I probably want to go to New York City. So these aren't necessarily sacred sites in the way that we perceive them, but they're big Stargate energetic portals. This is one old, like what should be sacred sites is one point. Yeah, vortexes like in Sedona. I'll definitely. I've never been in Sedona, so I'll definitely want to go there. For some reason somewhere in Louisiana, it feels like, or Mississippi or somewhere over in that area. Tennessee area. Somewhere in Colorado. Somewhere it looks like Montana, or what was that? Ohio? No, Montana and Ohio. So Ohio, the Snake Mound. Yeah, I guess Montana. There must be something there. Where else, guys? Nevada. I don't know what's in Nevada. Vegas. They just want me to party. No. So these are just U.S. places. So as far as the world goes, there's a lot of places like the Bosnia pyramids, obviously the Egyptian pyramid, pretty much the pyramids in the world stage. Vatican probably to clear, which I think that they've already anchored a lot there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to, I don't know. Do you have any tips to get the fragments back to you? That's kind of the work that I do. A big part of what I do is to bring back soul fragments and pieces, but also traveling to these sacred sites is you can download pieces and stuff, download different aspects. Yeah, Texas. I mean, I would definitely travel to Texas. I know I would. I mean, I've got buddies there and stuff. I definitely want to go see. I don't know about nothing's coming up in my awareness as far as like places I need to drop off codes, but I would definitely travel around. I love Canada. Northern BC, yeah. I mean, I live up in Washington State, so Vancouver is awesome. I mean, it feels like home up there, and they're even just like they're nicer. Only Americans are kind of lame. Take ourselves so seriously. Ooh, Star Squatch. Hi, I like that. I saw that name. I saw it for a second. That's beautiful. I've got Sasquatch, galactic Sasquatch aspects for sure. Why do I need to drop off codes? What is the purpose? So, who I am, part of my role and what I'm here to do is I'm a code keeper. Just a label. Essentially, I am here to bring certain frequencies from different places in order for certain things to take place. There's a lot of different reasons for this. It's very like it could be a whole a whole hour session trying to articulate it for a lot of different reasons, because of other past quantum experiences that we've had, other parallel realities and other timelines and things like that I have had experiences with. So then I carry codes, and I have certain DNA aspects that I hold certain things. I'm also coming from certain perspectives in which I am coming here that I can connect with that other people can't yet connect with. So I can bring those in for them so that they can then connect, and then they can bring in certain aspects of themselves. And so we can bring in all the frequencies needed in order to get ascension going in the way that is authentic and organic. And see. How do you figure out what you are? I don't know. Great question. I think that's the whole point, is to try to figure out what you are. And we're gonna always 144 people in here again. I love it. Every time I look up, it's always 144. How do you find your own gifts? Just by healing, exploring, following your excitement. Yeah, it's gonna happen naturally. It'll happen naturally. You know, a lot of times we find our gifts through the most unexpected ways, usually through the things that we dislike about ourselves, or that we think that there's something wrong with us. Like my gifts, I thought I was, if you want to call them gifts, my understandings or abilities, all this stuff, I thought there was something wrong with me. It creates a lot of pain in my body, so I identified it as something wrong. And it happens to be one of my assets. Like my higher self says it's not pain, it's power. It's power in potential. So, you know, I think that can kind of go across the board. You know, some people don't like that are really big seers. It's like, it can be overwhelming, you know, so they see everything. It can be really hard on them, and they look at it as like a curse, you know, like they lose their mind and stuff. Everybody's different. 144 is an expression of code. It's just, there's certain, it depends on what we're talking about. It's essentially just a frequency or a code or a representation. It's a code. I'm just going to leave it at, it's a code. Her vibes, I'm not a reader. Not necessarily. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I can pick up on things and energies, but I wouldn't be... Like, once I tune into somebody, I just kind of get the whole picture. And then, like, if there's something that we need to know, it's more like a yeah, duh, rather than this is what this is, or that's what this is. So it's like, I get what information is important for me to do with the work that I do. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I've been on here for so long. I've been talking. Maybe we'll do a little bit more healing. We'll do another healing tip real quick, and then we'll do a little bit. I'll do like one more transmission, and then I'll get off so everybody can go to bed and or do whatever. Just, you know, not having, you know. I appreciate you hanging out with me big time. Like, okay, chill out. You're good. Yeah, I don't consider it, or my perspective, I don't look at it as 144,000 people that are like the chosen or whatever. That's just not my perspective. That may very well be the case, but I look at it more as a code, like in sets of 12. There's certain. It's like it's an unlocking of a frequency range, a certain amount of. So if we have 12 strands of DNA. Gosh, it'd be too hard to explain in an easy way without like a chart or something. But it's more of an expression of frequency, and once we get to a certain frequency range, a certain codex, it will unlock, and that's the 144 that I recognize. But everybody, I mean, it could be a different expression of that too. There could be 144 different expressions of the soul fragments that then express themselves in a certain job that do certain things, you know. There's I don't know. Yeah, I am not going to pretend to know. So let's see. Okay, let me come up with another exercise real quick to help us heal ourselves. Let's see. What haven't I shared? I will show you. How about how I learned to perceive auras, the way that I perceive them. So the way that I perceived or helps me to perceive auras is by looking at something, right? So like looking at yourself or another figure, like your hand or something. And then with your mind's eye or whatever, with your intention, imagine there's a line. Just trace outside with a line around it. Doesn't matter what color or whatever. Just imagine there's a line. And then what I do is I try to, I look like 3 or so inches off to the side. And I look at like, I don't know if you see, but there's like these little pixels in the air. And when I focus on the pixels, not trying to look at the aura or anything like that, I just try to like tune into like a small pixel. You can never actually look at the pixel, but if you try to tune into the pixels, you're like just focusing. And then once you just look and deeper, and then you become aware in your peripheral to what is there to the side, and it should pop out. Let's see, that's not really a healing exercise, but that just popped into my head. Let's see if we got something else. I can see with my eyes open, Amber. That's the thing. I've seen straight up full beings with my eyes open. I can't see anything in my mind yet. I can see auras like not. I mean, I can see the first layer, and then I can see the second layer is like pixels of color, a little bit, not really. I can't actually identify the colors. And then I see like starlights, like little stars in the next layer. So they like pop up like little stars. And or like around the kitties when they want food or something, they'll get these little blue like bubbles, like little thought bubbles. But yeah, the way that I do it, so some people like say to unfocus or whatever. For me, I try to really focus, but not on what I'm trying to see. I try to focus on the pixels, and it's like tuning in. It's like pulling it out. So you're like pulling the frequency out, and you're like seeing it more and more, and you're just looking deeper and deeper and deeper. And the next thing you know, your peripheral is really tuned into it. Yeah, I mean, I can see the first layer pretty well. I don't usually see the other ones very well. All right, nothing's coming to my mind. I guess that means I'm going to do one more transmission. We'll do one more transmission because I'm getting pooped. Yeah, you might have missed a lot here. Happy. But okay, we'll do one more transmission here. So if you're open to receive, just relax. I'm just gonna let whatever comes through. It's probably gonna be a short one. Relax, feel your body, set an intention. So for this one, just set whatever intention feels right. If it's an area that you need healing or if it's an activation that you want, just set that intention, because my higher self works in packages of information, essentially creating data that your higher self gets access to that they can take and then give to you as appropriate. So that's why we can do all these things. That's why I'm called a quantum architect, because it's outside of space and time, so it doesn't really matter. That's why we can do so many different people at once and all that stuff. It's like essentially giving you a login to a website where you can download the files yourself, kind of a thing. It's not, but sort of like that. So if you're open to receive, just open your heart, feel your body. No harm will be done, no energy will be taken that's not freely given. Of course, it'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only. Definitely running out of juice. Cool. I forgot that I was not really able to speak as well earlier. Now as I'm trying to express, I'm like, so I'm probably gonna do more signing. So just feel your body. Oh, I forgot to put a song on. Let's do the song. Sorry, I forget stuff. Gotta keep me on track. I'm gonna let this. I'll do the song real quick. Sukumakarara nisiatura tanya kuyapa. Let's do Energy, why not? There you go. Another song. Kuhuessa paratara tarandisha kurta yepa rata kuisha. Suharnatara ratu kuisha no hui proera. Okay, kuisanada. Yeah, so that song is called let's see. Inner G, like your inner gangsta. Your Inner G by Zebler and Conti Experience. It's all tough spelling. But yeah, it's just kind of a fun song, right? If you got water nearby, I highly recommend drinking it. Yeah, so the thing about what I do is part of what I don't know if you call it an ability, but like part of my functionality is to be able to draw from energies around me. So if I'm in a space or an environment that has really good energies, I can draw from those energies. Kimper thought I could hear him. I probably could. I'm probably over there hanging out with Kimper, bro. Oh, it's cute. You guys are watching. Hi, Kimper. Hi, Kimper. Bukuchi praku, Kimper. Pratukuti prapa. You want some magic, buddy? No magic? No magic? What? You like magic. I know you do, bud. Yeah, so I feed off the energies, the frequencies around me. So just like when you're playing a radio, it's not like I'm taking, like when you walk into a room and a radio is playing, you're not taking from the music. It's not like the radio is being drained, but I can feed off the vibration and the energy of the music, and then that it can boost things, And it's funny because like I will play songs that I've never heard before, and I'll be working on myself, and it always syncs up to the music. Like when it's like I've never heard the song and I don't know it's about to end, but it starts to fade out, and then like I start to jolt usually when it's about to disconnect, and then the song ends. It's interesting. Yeah, her vibes, it's very normal. It's like, I know it seems weird and kind of trippy, but it's actually quite normal, and that's kind of the power of this stuff. So I don't have to eat fast food. I don't know. I mean, I've had fast food before. It doesn't have any nutrition, but sometimes your inner child wants a Happy Meal, Program the frick out of it and give it love, but this is called a Nectort. It uses tensor technology, as they like to refer to it as. So it's a certain cut of copper that is twisted at a certain length that creates a certain frequency and vibration. Have I met anyone like me? No, of course not. I've met amazing human beings that are like them, that express similar things. Like Cosmic Earthchild in here is very similar to me in a lot of ways. She expresses her own expression of this type of work, but we sync up quite a bit, and that's a big part of what she's doing, and being in here is expressing the feminine mirror to what I do. So like there's a lot of us that are doing work in here, that are here holding the frequencies and anchoring things in, that are benefiting everybody in this group container. It's not just me. I'm just the dingus that's on camera, just talking too much. But yeah, but she's channeling too. We sync up. We totally sync up. Like like I know when she's feeling stuff, like it comes through, and like we sync up completely. Like when we've done video to video, I know like we literally sync up. I don't know how else to articulate that. You're most welcome. How do I pronounce it? Avi? Avi? I don't know. I feel like I should know how to pronounce my friends. But it's online. It's tough, I wish we could all meet in person. That'd be awesome. That's the Heels on Wheels. Maybe we just have a big party. It'd be so much fun. Yeah, her vibes, if you're interested in this stuff. I mean, everybody who's in here, whether you're actually like you're curious or whatever, you're just looking at me like, what the hell is up with this guy? Is he actually insane? Like, is he? Like, it's a little, he acts crazy, but is he? I appreciate you being in here, because you're here, you're guided here for a reason. Whether you choose to believe that or not, I don't believe in coincidence. I've seen too much shit. I've seen some shit. So, I love you, Serene. Kushatara. If I pronounce that right, my bad. Thank you. You were amazing as well. Am I an empath? I am. I would, from other people's perspective, I would be considered an empath. From my perspective, I'm not a big fan of labels that kind of limit us, from my perspective, but I do feel the energies of things very, very tangibly. I do feel the emotions of other people. I do feel the pain of other people. I do feel objects. I feel all sorts of stuff. Clairsentient would be the way I'd prefer to refer to it as. But there is a difference. So a true empath does do things a little bit different than clairsentience. So they're semantics, they're words. They're never fully accurate. But yeah, I would be considered a highly sensitive empath. That's how I started out my journey, as being aware that I'm an empath, really, like 10 years ago. And then just smashing that snooze button, just thinking I'm an empath rather than trying to heal myself, thinking I'm, just sensitive. I don't know. It's not like a bad thing. It's just that I, didn't really know what to do. It was just a way for me to explain what I was going through. Can I tell what gifts others have? Sometimes. Usually. I mean, not truly, though. I don't think truly, because we only really... I know there's people that are specialists in understanding other people's gifts. So there's a lot of people that are really good at that. So I wouldn't consider myself like them. I can feel and know, but I won't be able to tell you about your gifts more than you would know them. I would just know that they are there, and that's what you should be focusing towards. Some people can really help you come into your gifts. That's their gift, Yeah, doesn't it feel weird that, to meet people that are similar frequencies? Especially, I mean, people are coming into this world that are closer to our frequency, for sure. For sure. Like my buddy Alex here has got, his youngest is really close to my type of frequency, my type of energy field. It's different, which is cool. So you don't feel so weird. Why do women turn evil and try to destroy my soul or your soul? Oh man, that is a complicated question that I don't know if I want to get into. For one, I don't necessarily buy into that, but I mean, we could have a whole session on that stuff. Let's just say evil is a morality judge, like it's a label of morality. So it's going to be subjective to everybody. What I consider evil is going to be completely different compared to somebody else. Oh, Akashic, that's awesome. Beautiful. Yeah, Cosmic Earthchild is amazing. If you guys aren't following her already, my goodness. She's moderator in here. We're doing the 2222 event. I can't say that. Which is the portal event. She's amazing, and highly recommend following her work or her channel if you are interested in the work that I do. She's got even more, she's got way more gifts than I do that she's got access to, so I would definitely recommend to connect with her. Yeah, and we'll do another one in April. She does like events all the time, so she does like readings, and one work. I think you do sessions one-on-one for sure, but also like you can do, if you just want a taste of it, she does different sessions with Deb Clark as well, and some other people. And really great way to get like some quick information if you're not really ready for a full session. Not everybody is, like I was sampling everything for a while, and it's a great way to sample some of that work. I do. I have access to my gifts too. But you've got access to the same gifts. And then some. Oh, that's interesting. The food goat. Mutsupa. Okay, well, I think it's 10:10. I think I'm gonna start doing my like getting off talk. That sounds weird. Getting off talk. Mine's in the gutter. It must be late. I'm starting to burn out. I need to ground. I'm standing on a grounding mat, by the way. So I've got all these tools. I should be sharing this more. I've got a grounding mat that is plugged into the ground of my house. It's not the same thing as going out into the dirt or whatever, but I needed to ground before I even got onto this live. Thank you. So I will give my little spiel. If you are interested in contacting me, or if you have questions, anything like that, or if you are interested in something like a one-on-one, or anything like that, anything, just let me know. You can go to my profile. In my profile, there's a Linktree link. Hopefully you know what that is, because apparently it's a really popular thing that I just got on board with. You go to that link and you can send me a message through a link in there. I don't know why it's got to be so damn complicated. Or you can go to the Instagram icon And if you have Instagram, send me a message through that. But go to my profile, look in my bio. There's a link. You can send me a message through one of those links. Or you can email Ty Heals, my username. Oh, cool. Thank you. Cool. What's that? You can email my username at gmail.com for any reason at all. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time, but just be patient with me. I've got pretty intense ADHD sometimes. I forget. I'll be in the middle of responding and butterfly. So just be patient. But I do my best to get back to everybody. Or you can find me on Facebook. Search for Tyel, and you should find me. Or Facebook /Tyel Healing or /Weesling Magic, my page versus my personal page or whatever. What else? Yeah, I do one-on-ones. If you're interested in that kind of thing, I essentially offer 2 types of sessions: a general 30-minute session, and then what I call a 60-minute enhanced session. So the 60-minute enhanced is definitely the most popular option, and about half of that is focused on clearing and healing and aligning the systems, so that the second half we can bring through activations, upgrades, and all the stuff that you see in these type of sessions. So essentially it's a full frequency upgrade. So you go through whatever level that is safe and for you, or the best for you in this now, based on your higher self's design. So that's what we just hope you get there as quickly as possible. Let me know. I'm going to be offering more shit soon. More options, like more pre-recorded transmissions, different options for that. You can either get just like vocalized light language stuff, just signing, combination, just stuff to explore, personalized stuff. But I love you so much. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me as long as you did and listening to me talk for damn 2 hours. I appreciate you so much. Oh, even more than 2 hours. Holy crap, this is a long one. But yeah, let me know. And I love you. I appreciate you. I feel like there's something else I need to say. If there's people that are really going through really tough stuff, like healing stuff, like really like terminal issues or like, really hardcore like cancer and things like that, I do work with you one-on-one. I will work with you and try to help you out. So just let me know if you know people like that need healing. The upgrades and stuff, there's always needs to be an energy exchange just because it's for your best interest for both of us. But if people really need help, let me know, and I'll do my best to help out as quickly as possible. And we'll make this place a better place. I love you. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. I am so honored to be here. Thank you so much to Cosmic Earth Child. Follow her if you don't follow her yet. Highly recommend it. I'm not just like doing that because she's my moderator. There's a reason she's a moderator here. Because she's an incredible human being. She's incredibly talented. If you like my stuff, you'll like her stuff. I don't think Sophia Speaks is in here, but if you do see her, I highly recommend following her. She's amazing. Amber, second in command. Follow her. She's amazing. And I thank you. I love you. I love you, Alex. I love you, Kemper. I love you, buddy. I'll see you soon, buddy. Good night. I love you. Booyah!